Hey guys, welcome back. This week I'm taking a look at a Franchi. This is the first time I've actually had a look at a Franchi auto, and this is the Franchi Affinity Elite. Available in two colours. There's a kind of a grey and a bronze. This is the bronze. The bronze camo is kind of a browny camo. The grey one has more of a kind of grey camo. They are just under £1,000, depending on where you go. A wee bit more expensive than a standard Affinity. Affinity is at £700, but you get some extra bits and bobs. I mean, to be honest, it's mostly cosmetic. Different shape bolt handle, although the extended bolt handle on the standard Affinity is pretty good, and the large bolt release. Very comfy to use, no issues at all feeding or operating the weapon. It is very slick. And of a very high quality. All of the metal to metal fit and metal to plastic fit on this gun is excellent. We've got a, actually I don't know what the barrel length on this is, but it is available in different lengths. So we've got a 8mm rib, fibre optic front bead, extended chokes, 18.4 barrel, 3.5-inch chamber, superior steel proof. The difference with the M2 and the Franchi is very clear when you have a look under the fore end. All of the operating ports for the Franchi are here on the fore end, a mag tube. So you've got the spring and the carrier for the bolt. On a Benelli, everything lives behind the bolt, and the rat tail from the bolt operates on a spring in the butt. Effectively, what that means in practice is that this gun tends to balance more towards the front. It's a £7 gun all in, and it definitely leans out towards the front end. That isn't necessarily a bad thing though, because in the swing it's actually pretty tidy. It does give it a bit more inertia, and it means you can stay tidy with your swings. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt, but I just needed to tell you that this week's show is brought to you in association with the British Shooting Show. The British Shooting Show is the largest of its type, the largest trade and retail show in the UK. And next year, on the 17th to the 19th of February at the NEC, I'll be there along with what I suspect will be a few other recognisable faces. Ready to meet you guys if you're kicking about, and of course soaking up the atmosphere and checking out all the trade stands and all the retail stands while I'm there. This year, they've listened to feedback, and your parking and a copy of the programme will be included in the ticket price. Keep your eyes peeled, because I'll be doing a competition to give away some tickets later in the year. It is inlet for scope rings, if you was that way inclined. 3.5-inch chamber, definitely. You can tell this gun is tuned toward thumpier cartridges, because I've actually had trouble cycling under 28 gram loads in this. One benefit though with that of these big controls is when you do get a short stroke from a light cartridge, it's very easy to cycle the bolt without coming off the gun. You can literally just and keep going, which is quite handy. The grip is quite tightly radiused, with some quite aggressive checkering, which sort of fits well with what this gun's intended for, sort of wild filing, pigeon shooting, etc. One problem is the length of pull. The length of pull on this is 14.25, which is way too short for me. I would be inclined to get a spacer. The butt pad, however, does a great job of soaking recoil, and generally recoil on this gun hasn't been a problem. Safety behind the trigger, the usual stuff. I mean, to operate, it is very much of its type in terms of like the Benelli, this. They operate very similarly. Shooting impressions, as I said, the weight forward actually helps a little bit with steadiness. Trigger pulls are okay. It handles recoil fine. You are going to want to stick to cartridges that are a bit thumpier though, for obvious reasons. It isn't going to cycle anything too light. It's definitely a gun that's more at home on the foreshore or in a hide, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't use it for clays, obviously, unless you want to shoot in a CPSA registered competition, because it's camouflage. That said though, a very nice bit of kit, and £925, an absolute bargain. 400 quid cheaper than a similar M2, and a wee bit more than the standard Affinity. Overall, I like it. Guys, the channel is, as ever, supported by Bywell Shooting Ground, Hull Cartridge and Mac Wet Gloves. Please subscribe if you can. It's very important. It helps the channel out. It helps me out personally if you do subscribe. And obviously it means you get a chance to see the content when it comes out, because if you click the bell, you get an alert. Please follow me on the socials, the usual stuff. Guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.